Hi, we're on. That's Sam. So. Seb was asking what this is and why we have it. This is our start off music. This is like our theme song.
All right.
And that's David Clark. He plays it. That's David. He is not in Billy Joel's band. Zach was telling him that David Clark's in Billy Joel's band. He's not.
I'm not the music fanatic.
He plays with certain guys from Billy Joel's band. From old guys from Billy Joel. Guys who used to play with Billy Joel. All the guys that were on the big hits and stuff. He plays with them now playing Billy Joel stuff. David also has his own Billy Joel tribute band. He also has a Sting tribute band. He's all over the place. He's also a friend of mine. So I just use him without permission to be our theme song of the night. This should be over in a second.
You plagiarize him?
Yeah, absolutely. I have no permission whatsoever to use it, but I do anyway. And then he sticks his head in and we go like that. So Sab is here. Everybody say hi to Sab. Hi, Sab.
Sup?
Sup. See, he says, sup. Sab is, hang on, I'm just trying to, whoops. I'm trying to refresh this page so I can see the video, so I can see your comments. Bear with me a second. Oh, there we are.
There we go.
There we are. Oh, and there's already one comment. Why don't I see it? Lindsay McLeod is watching us. Oh, Lindsay McLeod says, hey, guys. Hi, Lindsay. Oh, it's Sally. Hello. Hi, guys. All right.
Sal?
Sal?
Is that Sal?
No, Sally. Sal, I don't know if Sal's watching. Sal had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Sal.
So,
Happy birthday, Sal.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Jackie's back. Jack, you want to say hi?
Hello.
Your brother's watching. He says hey.
My brother, great. I stopped up at his house before.
What for?
Yeah. Just say hi.
Right. Okay, Seb, ladies and gentlemen, is one of my oldest friends. Right, almost 20. You posted today, almost 20 years. I didn't even realize that. That's insane.
20 years, about a year shy.
Wow. Seb and I used to work together. He actually was, I guess, yeah, you were my boss. Yeah, Seb was my boss. But in a good way. Not like a scumbag manager type corporate American bastard. But in a good way, in a union way. What's that? I have no idea what you're saying. You can talk, you know.
I don't want to say it. So that
Oh, you don't want to? Oh, all right.
7.5?
7.5 what? I don't know what Zach is talking about, but that's okay.
Well, obviously, right.
I still have no clue. 7-Eleven.
He wants us to stop at 7-Eleven.
He wants us to...
We're at 7-Eleven.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Like...
But Zach is back. A lot of people missed you last week, Zach. I had a lot of people tell me about how they miss Zach. A lot of people feel Zach is a big part of the show and they enjoy seeing him. So we'll get you on here to say hello before the show's up. They like to see your face because you're very pretty. He's a pretty kid. What?
I'm the real star of the show.
You're the real star of the show. That's pretty much
Like
true.
Baba Booey.
Tony's son.
Like Baba Booey, just like that. So anyway, Seb is here. Yeah, an old friend of almost 20 years. He was my boss at the union when I was a chief steward, and Seb was a business rep. Great guy, a lot of fun. He's also has the distinction of being, when I first got into dinner theater, he supported me and came to the very first show when I had my own business.
Lake Ronkonkoma.
Lake Ronkonkoma. Windows on a Lake?
On a lake, yeah.
Yeah.
Something about a lake house or something.
Oh, the Lake House, yes. It's owned by the same guy. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that was 15 years ago. Wow. So, yeah, he's a good man. So we're here to talk a little bit about unions, because I personally am a strong supporter. Obviously, he is too. We're going to try and not get too political here, because we don't want to get political. We don't want... oh, I'm supposed to shut this stuff off. There's going to be a lot of noise. You shut those other fans off? Actually, I don't think there's one on over there, but back there. Thanks.
You're so very welcome.
You stole your brother's shoes?
Yes.
Oh. Yes, Eric, we're talking about unions a little bit. A little bit. You might learn something, Eric. Whoops, I should have done that. I'm making a mess here. This thing. I can't see that. Oh, there we go. Sorry, don't mind me. So yeah, Eric, you might learn something. Why it's important to have a union Why do you think it's important to have a union?
Corporations suck.
There you go. And good night.
Yeah, it's big to me. Big corporations suck. I'm not talking about mom and pops. I'm not talking about Richie's Plumbing or Sal's Towing. Big corporations suck. Without unions, they would just kill you.
Without unions, you wouldn't have a 40-hour work week. You wouldn't have certain holidays. You wouldn't have overtime. Hey, David Funk is watching. I saw David Funk. I bumped into him this weekend.
Hey, Dave, what's up, man? How you doing?
Dave was.
He's a vet too. He's a veteran. Dave, thanks for serving.
Right. Absolutely.
Thank you very much for serving.
And he plays the bagpipes.
I know that. I do know that.
Good man. Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys over there at the our old stomping grounds. So Seb was a business rep. He worked at the union office, and then I was one of the guys on the field that reported to Seb. There were issues in the field, anything going on, I would have to call Seb, and he would tell me whose ass to kick. And especially now with this thing, it was a lot of fun to kick ass.
I can't believe you still do that.
Oh, I still do that everywhere. I still tell people it was a shark attack too. It's great. Yeah, I love that. Blah blah blah. Eric says. Eric, like I said, 40-hour work weeks, benefits.
Wait a second. Is Eric anti-union or is anti? I don't know.
Eric is very anti-union. Very.
Eric, I don't understand why you're anti-union. Maybe you can explain to me, and we could have an intelligent dialogue. I'm never going to agree to your position, probably, and you're probably never going to agree to mine. But maybe we could at least come to some agreement where we agree to disagree and respect each other's opinions.
See, and that's exactly why this guy is the best. Exactly the way he just talked right there. We need more people like that. We need more people like that because that's the attitude that Sam used to go into.
Could this officially kick off my presidential campaign?
I'd vote for you.
Thanks. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is why you're on, because you're gonna announce you're running for president. Although I'd probably ruin that in a second with pictures like this.
That's great.
So Seb, he stands.
That's great. You blocked it out.
Oh, you didn't even notice?
No.
Oh, I thought that's why you. Seb, he marches because he supports cock.
This guy's not going to be happy. He's the old mayor of Bayville.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's the mayor of Bayville.
Sorry, Mayor.
It's Doug Watson. He's a decent human being. And he's a union guy, by the way.
So even your shirt, I blocked it out.
That's great. I was actually going to wear that shirt because it looks good on me, green.
So, well, it's not the same shirt, but he's got cock on his chest. Right.
That's great. That was St. Patty's Day.
Well, yeah, I figured all the green.
Yeah.
All right. Union leaders are corrupt. Eric, he said he would like to have a intellectual conversation with you. Unions prevent workers at Purdue Chicken from having to continue working after they slice off 2 fingers and are told to stay.
I would think that's a good thing if you slice off 2 fingers and the company tells you to stay and you don't have to stay. I would think that that's a good thing.
Your brother wrote that. So.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Chris.
No, Lou.
Oh, Lou. My brother Lou is a maniac.
Lou, Chris is the one I met. Right?
Chris is the one you met.
One time, I used to have a pop-up trailer. And
you just told that story.
Who did?
My brother Chris.
Oh, did
just told it tonight.
It's one of my favorite stories. We went, I was getting rid of it, decided to give it to Sam, so we went to DMV to switch the title registration over. And we had this at DMV. I mean, everybody goes to DMV. They see it all. All the people that work there are miserable and they're, rags and they're just, ugly, miserable people.
They're ugly people.
And we had this one lady. She was probably about 150 years old, and she looked like she hasn't showered in about 70 of those 150 years. Hadn't cracked a smile in probably about 30 years. She was just miserable. And we had told her what we were here for, and gave her all the paperwork. And she said, so she took it all, and she said, I think we asked her, can you help us with this? And she said, yeah, you got it. With that, Sam turns and goes, no, baby, you got it. And that was it. Big smiles,
she loved
sunlight comes. The youth went down 50 years immediately. There was
we broke through the DMV shell.
And she was all giggly. Oh, anything you want. And there were stars in her eyes. It was like the Brady Bunch. Remember they had their first kiss? You would see the firecrackers and stuff, the fireworks. She was just like that. Yeah, we could have taken her home if we wanted to. Yeah, she was. But that's the beauty. This is who Sam is. He's just a great guy, a good union man, and just a lot of fun to hang around with. We'll talk unions a little bit. We also want to ask him about retirement. He just retired this year from our old place of employment. I do have one other story that I enjoy.
Did you know that
Everyone hired in the last few years at DMV is from prison. They train them there.
All right, well,
I believe it.
like fat chicks need love, prisoners need jobs, I guess. I don't know.
Tony, I'm on early. No, Jack, this is the new time, Jack. We started last week, going on at 8 o'clock. New time, because we have a large female population that did not want us to go on at the same time as This Is Us, which the second season premiered last week. So we actually moved our time so that people can watch this show, This Is Us. You watch that show?
No, I'm more fascinated with the fact that chicks are watching us and asked us to move so that they can continue to watch you.
Yeah.
You're special. You are special, baby.
Special, all right. Yeah. So yeah, that's the story behind that. And yes, I know I'm competing with the Yankee game, but we'll.
Is baseball even a sport?
Is baseball even a sport?
How dare you?
It's a pastime. Baseball's like lacrosse is a sport. Baseball is a pastime. Like golf is a hobby. That's the way I think.
Either way, it's Yankees,
Yeah.
and there's just no pissing off Yankee fans. They're sore winners.
Screw the
But
Yankees.
let's go Yankees. No, let's go Yankees. Female, I know more guys that watch that show. Yes, I do watch that show. I'll admit it right here and now. I do watch This Is Us. I did not change the time for me because I don't watch it on the night. I watch it later on demand. So there you go. I admit it. Some guys like Barry Manilow. I like This Is Us. You like Barry Manilow?
I do like Barry Manilow.
All right, so speaking of baseball, my other sad story has to do with baseball. We, as union guys, we, another thing we fought for quite a bit was safety on the job. So, and we were linemen. So if for those of you who are not familiar with a lineman is, excuse me, I'm battling a cold. Linemen, they put the poles in. They run all the cables from pole to pole. A lot of construction type work. A lot of working close to electric. It can be a dangerous job.
Two-handed tools and big trucks, and it was fun. It was.
He has a
guy-
knack of just summing things up.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good stuff.
So we promoted safety. We would not do a job if we didn't have the right tools to do it right and do it safe. And when you're running cable from all these poles, or actually even underground, from manhole to manhole, you need walkie-talkies so you can communicate with the guys on each side, and they can do the job right and nobody gets hurt. I've been hurt on the job a few times, and it's not fun. And we had these walkie-talkies that didn't work. They were just pieces of garbage. So I really don't know how it happened, but they somehow ended up in my personal car. I don't know who put them there, but they ended up there so that we had no walkie-talkies on the job. The boss was forced to get new ones. It's amazing. It's amazing how that worked. So we go to a Met game, and these garbage radios were still sitting in my van. So it was opening day. I think it was on a late 90s somewhere. We had a little tradition where we go every year for opening day. So these walkie-talkies are still sitting in my van, and we're tailgating. It's like hours before the game even starts, and there are these young kids. Well, young kids. We're old men, but
We were probably in our 30s. They were probably in their early 20s.
early 20s, and they had a bunch of beer. So Sam grabs one of these radios, and he starts pretending to talk to somebody right next to these kids. Yeah, I got a bunch of kids here in the parking lot. They got a bunch of beer. That they know they're not supposed to have the beer here, and you see them. They're all pointing at him. They're like, you can see they're shitting in their pants. So yeah, he stops talking. He walks over. He says, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to confiscate your beer." And he handed it over.
We were out of beer. We were down to like our last 3 beers, and we were desperate. KK was involved in that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we confiscated their beers, but then we actually had the audacity to wear these get-ups, the mics with the walkie-talkies into the stadium. Do you remember? I wind up sitting down.
Yes.
Right below, it was
yes.
it was Giuliani at the time, and there were these 2 girls in like fur coats in front, and we're screaming at Giuliani the whole time. And these 2 girls turn around and they're like, "We're out of here. You better take our tickets because they're going to throw you out." So we take these two girls' tickets, and now security comes, and we give them the tickets. We're like, we're supposed to be here. And I'm waving up to you. You came down, and now we're all sitting behind Giuliani. We made his life so miserable. He left, and we watched the rest of the game from right down there. It was never
awesome.
replicated.
It's just awesome. It's just awesome stuff like that only happen with people like this. And that's why he's here. Let's see. There was one comment. Has he ever put cables on his balls? Have you ever put cables on your balls?
Not that I recall. No.
No.
No need for that. There's no need for that.
What are you gonna punch me again like you did in junior high? Oh, there's people fighting. This episode is crazy. No, not really.
Punch them with junior high.
I don't know what. There's some old friends from Hicksville. They come on every week and they talk pervertedly and say dirty things.
Now, can the rest of the world see what they're saying?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So we're up to 18 people watching.
Nice.
But it replays on the page. So it usually, actually, believe it or not, gets several hundred.
If Sue,
Sue's watching. It said that she's watching.
If Sue's watching,
yeah,
on my laptop, her laptop, Anthony's laptop, Matthew and Brian, does that count as 5?
If they're signed in
under their name,
yeah.
So we'll probably only got about 12 then.
That's all right. That's all right. Jackie McDonald says hi, doll. Jackie McDonald's hot, so when she says hi, doll, it gets me going. Hi, doll. Jennifer Kalb.
That's my niece.
That's your niece. She says hi.
Hey, what's up, Jen? How are you?
Nice.
Put the kids in bed.
How old are the kids?
Her oldest is 15 or 16, and then she has Christian is 4 or 5, and Gabrielle, which is her to a T, is like 2 or 3. They're fun.
They're too young because we're talking about
yeah.
That we can't. Yeah, you can't. Well, can you see that? I hope they can see. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're talking about Sam and his love for cock. Tom Franzese joined.
Pork chop, what's up, man?
Actually, what did I see back here? Jackie has a nice rack. Yes, she does.
So other people know Jackie too?
Yeah. There's a lot of old Hicksville people.
All right.
I don't mean old as in old people. They're just old friends from Hicksville. But I did see Sue did comment. Where did it go? Sue said just her. She's just watching.
Oh, all right.
So.
Now, when my wife, she probably wanted me to bring home 1% milk. That's all she ever asked me to do. Bring home 1% milk.
Oh.
Not whole milk, not 2%, not skim.
All right. And what did I say? Oh, there it is. Joe Velasquez says hi.
Hey, Joe.
Joe.
That dude's a good dude.
He is a good dude.
He's a really good dude.
And he got a bum rap at our old place.
Yep.
But it seems like it's worked out for the better.
Yep.
A mixed blessing. So as I was saying before, Sab is my old boss at the union. What did you get into?
How did I get in?
Well, what made you want to get in? Is it because you married Sue, who had relatives in the union, or did you already have these beliefs?
Yeah. Yes, no, yes. So everybody, my wife's uncle was president of Local 1106, which was the Queens local CWA for the Verizon workers. And when I got in, I guess everybody assumed that that's the reason why I wanted to get in the union, so to speak. What they didn't realize was that my grandfather was actually a trustee in the sanitation union, which is a whole side story because he was actually he was involved in the periphery of the mob back in those days. And the other grandfather was a union carpenter, and my father was actually the union president of the Lawrence Teachers Association, which is like the local for the Lawrence School District forever. He was green, and so I grew up in a union family. It wasn't foreign to me. I knew where I got my bread buttered. Sue at one time was a union nurse when she first started out, before she started moving up. So it was just a natural progression of things. I believe in the cause. I don't believe in everything in the cause, but I believe in the cause. We could use Verizon as an example. Verizon basically prints money. They print their profit after they pay everything is $1.5 billion with a B dollars a month, so they can afford things. So when they sit there and they tell you that, you are not getting a raise this year, or you're going to have to, contribute to your medical, and the CEO, Lowell McAdams, makes like $38 million in a year. And I'm sorry, the fucking Pope ain't worth $38 million. Lowell McAdams sure as shit ain't. So when they sit there and they tell you things like that, and they want to have the ability to transfer you up to 180 miles a day on a day's notice and ruin your family, there's no sense.
All right, well, all right, explain that. Ruin your family. What does that mean?
So what I'm saying is in the last contract, one of the things they wanted to do was have the ability to transfer you up to, I believe it was 150 or 180 miles away from your family for up to a year at a time. So today they tell you, Monday, report to, Roanoke, Virginia. How do you think you're going to feel? You're not going to see your family for a year? You're going to be in a hotel room? So do you actually, move your family down? Or do you go down yourself and hope that they move you back? And things like that. And the problem is, with any big corporation, I think that they think that they're going to dictate what you're going to do rather than coming to you and saying to you, we got a problem, let's solve it. And when I was in the union office, some of the best managers I ever dealt with would come to me and they'd say, we got a problem. And like I said to Eric earlier, let's sit down, let's talk, let's come to some kind of agreement. We don't have to agree, but maybe we can understand your side, my side, and it always seemed to work out better that way. But
That's I think, is the big problem, actually, nowadays in society. Not necessarily a phone company or whatever company you work for. There's a lot of well, I don't have that. Instead of being happy for somebody, or instead of fighting to get something, you just bitch that you don't have it. So you support that person not having it too.
Yes. What's going on is my feelings on what's going on in society right now is that nobody talks to anybody and nobody cares about anything. And again, people try to say to me, oh, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat. If you took the 10 most divisive issues in our country right now, whatever they are, gun control, abortion, our veterans, the defense of our country, illegal immigration, whatever you want, and you gave 10, I'd probably be on the side of both for 4, 5, 6 of them. But the problem is nobody wants to listen to anybody right now, and it's the way the country's going. It's sad.
Should we go there then? You brought up gun control.
Let's go there.
Should we talk about yesterday?
Let's go.
No, all right, yeah. Now, Sam.
In all fairness, let me
go ahead.
Self-declare. I'm the president of a gun club. I'm a strong proponent of the Second Amendment. So I just want that out there in the open. I mean, that's what he's kidding around about the cock. It actually means in a cock rather than gun club.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to ask you.
What else you got?
All right. Well, all right. Before I do that, I'm reading the comments. Kenny and Jimmy, you guys free next week? Come on next week if you want. Come on. But seriously, let me know if you want to come on next week. Comment. All right. So let's do that. Right, because I know that was where I was going. I know you are involved in a gun club. I know you own a gun. You enjoy hunting. In fact, the only time I ever went hunting in my life was with you. And
you just got the new leg.
I had a prosthetic leg. I think I only had it for about 3 months, and we're upstate New York, and it was January if I remember right. It was snow on the ground. Where we were staying had a freaking outhouse, so I'm slipping and sliding all over the damn place like an idiot trying to get to an outhouse and just get anywhere. And this poor bastard just basically had to pick me up. Basically almost was carrying me everywhere we went. I didn't even hunt. Remember?
It was well worth it. You didn't even touch a gun.
I did touch a gun for skeet shooting.
All right.
Which I enjoyed. I actually had a blast. But all right, but the argument, owning a gun is one thing, but like this guy had the automatic rifles and had, what do you have, 10 of them or something in the room? I mean that's hard to justify, right? Or no? I don't know anything about guns, so
not to me.
Okay, it's not to you.
No,
okay,
not at all. Because the first thing that and from a gun owner's perspective, the first thing that the press does when somebody does something with a gun is they put out there that this guy had 18 guns and thousands of rounds.
Right.
And here's a little news flash for those of you that might not know or don't have guns. All of us have that shit. So if you have 18 or 20 guns, which is not unusual, and each gun has 100, you have 100 rounds of ammo for each gun, you now have thousands of rounds of ammo. So you know, I understand. Listen, I understand everything, but people like Mario Cuomo likes to, Andrew Cuomo likes to say, you don't need 30 bullets to kill a deer. Andrew, listen, Toots, it ain't about deer hunting. It's about the Second Amendment. And the way I feel about this is we have the First Amendment, which gives me and you and everybody else the right to say what you want. It gives you the right to, you know, follow any religion you want. It gives you the right to basically get away with a lot of the liberties that we have that were given to us by our forefathers. That's the First Amendment. That was the most important. Then the second most important amendment allows us to have guns to defend everything else. The right to say what we want, the right to stand up against the government in case the government doesn't want, if the government wants to come at us. And listen, I understand people are going to say that's old, the government would never do that, that's in the 1700s. Just
right, that's when they were pumping, you know, it took 5 minutes to load a bullet into the gun.
Right, but that's how the government loaded it too. The government loaded bullets like that while I was loading a bullet. So if the government can have an automatic weapon, I should be able to have an automatic weapon. And the argument that what people are going to say, you know, that would never happen, the government would never do that. All you need to do is look at societies where the government has taken the people's guns away. And as horrible as it sounds, because I say things in a way that people sometimes don't agree with or don't, they look at how the way I say it instead of what I'm saying. So if you look at, let's look at Nazi Germany, when they had taken all of the Jews' guns away from them, they were unarmed. Now basically, they were fucked. So I have a problem with the government trying to say why I can have a gun, what I can't. And you know, I understand the other side's argument. You know, do you, you know, why do you need that? Or is it when does it become excessive? You know, the only thing I can tell you is I think we get, as society, I have two words I live by: personal responsibility. Because when I was a kid, I grew up around guns. I never killed anybody. My kid, and this is another true story, my kids, when they were younger, would come in and they'd see me at the kitchen table, dining room table, cleaning the gun, and they'd walk in, they'd give me a kiss, and it would be nothing to them. And I went to the schools, and I would say to the schools, you need to teach kids about guns. Not teach them how to use them or anything. Teach kids 4 rules. Stop, don't touch, leave the area, tell an adult. And they wouldn't do it. And I never understood why, because the side that traditionally says, rather than stick criminals in jail, we should educate them or teach them something, is the same side that's against educating or teaching kids about guns. So you got to be consistent. If you want to educate people about birth control and give out condoms in high schools, and you want to educate people and educate criminals and get criminals training, rather than stick them in jail, why don't we educate kids about the guns? So my kids would come in and they'd see me cleaning guns, and it was nothing to them. And one day my daughter comes in with one of her friends, and I had gotten back from duck hunting, so there's stuff everywhere. She comes in, hey, Daddy. And this other girl walked in, and she was like, oh, my God. So, winds up, Sue got a call from the mother, and it was just that my kids grew up around guns just like I did. And those kids didn't. So...
Have you ever shot yourself in the eye with a pocket rocket? That's what my friend Kenny wants to know.
No, but I shot my brother in the ass with a BB gun when I was little.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's even better, actually.
And then we tried pulling it off, and our father called our bluff and called the cops, because we told him that somebody else we didn't know, so my father called the cops, had the cops come over. Oh, it was a whole big fiasco. Lou, my brother Lou, remember that. That was him.
Kenny likes to cock his gun.
All right.
That's, yeah. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor, says Tom Francis. Now there's people calling each other Jews. I don't know what's going on here.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to shoot a load, says Kenny. All right.
So we have a mature audience.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we know our wheelhouse.
Yeah, so all that serious discussion is out the window.
Gone.
It's gone. It's gone. So, all right, but see, all right, but now something interesting today, because I know a lot of people when something like yesterday happens, they'll say, oh, you know, well, fine, if it's not a gun issue, it's a mental issue. This guy should have gotten the help that he deserved, or help that he needed.
Absolutely.
But a girl that I went to high school with, she posted today, she's in that field. And
really?
She finds it insulting that people are insinuating that the job is not being done. She even posed the question, why are we assuming that this guy had mental issues? You know, his brother came out and said there were never any issues. He said that he didn't even know his brother had guns. He was not affiliated with any terrorist organization. So everybody just assumes it's a mental health issue. I mean, I personally feel if you want to shoot at that many people, I mean, who wouldn't think? If you want to shoot at that many people, obviously something's not right in your head. But this was something I never heard before. This girl found it a little insulting that people are insinuating this guy had mental issues instead of the fact he was just an evil prick.
Yeah, the sad thing is that people died. That's the first and most important horrible aspect of it. The second part is that we may never know why.
Right.
The guy just might have had a fight with his girlfriend and been pissed. The guy might have had a mental issue. The guy might have just wanted to see what it was like. You don't know, but I think everybody can agree for somebody to actually get to that level, there's something wrong somewhere in the brain. I'm not talking about I caught you in bed with my wife, I'm going to kill you, or you injured my child, I'm going to kill you. That to me is not justified. Whatever, that's understandable. But for somebody to do something like that, I don't get it. And that goes on with any. And of course, this issue always comes up every time we have something, whether it's Newtown, whether it's Colorado, whether And I kind of smirked to myself when I saw Las Vegas strong, and I was like, damn, we're seeing a lot of something strongs. Boston strong, Las Vegas strong, Orlando strong, Michigan strong. Like, stop with the strong, man. It's just, but I don't know. I again. What? I don't have my glasses.
The comments. We're carrying on about this, but people are talking about man butter. Eric is saying it's Trump's fault, and he said it's Obama's fault.
I use beard butter.
Beard butter.
For the Santa Claus.
Two overweight men with white beards.
This is Santa Claus.
That's what I should have called this episode.
This is Santa Claus.
Are you going to be Santa Claus this year?
Every year at the gun club, I'm Santa Claus, and I do the fake beard.
That's something. A gun club with Santa.
Yeah.
Hey kids,
let me tell you something. The first year I walked in there as Santa Claus, I was like, oh, and I was scared shitless because I had a feeling that these kids knew I wasn't. And 3 minutes after being in there, I realized that they had no idea. And now I walk in there like I own the joint. I'm like, ho, ho, ho! I'm fucking Santa Claus. So this year I figured the kids deserved a real beard. So I got the ground clearance from my wife that I could grow the beard. And the only thing she said...
You got permission from the wife, is that what you said?
I had to make sure that I didn't have any of her work functions, because her work functions, I have to be, hey, how are you, Tony? How's the golf game, Chip?
And a beard just doesn't...
No.
It's unprofessional?
All of the guys at her job, nobody has facial hair. Our world, we have facial hair. In corporate America, they have very little facial hair. You never realized that? Dude.
I don't pay enough attention to corporate America because I hate them.
Yeah, go look at Lowell McAdams, that scum. He has no facial hair, all of them. They don't have...
Because they can't grow any. Has Tony ever touched Sam? Oh,
sure.
wait, has Tony... Yeah.
We touch each other all the time.
Oh, yeah, sure. What is that? What's wrong with that?
I'm Italian.
Kevin O'Keefe is watching.
Hey, Kev.
Yo, Sam and Anthony, he says. Dan touched Tony. Who's Dan?
Dan, the fake meth fan?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Eric, who's Dan? Okay, so we're trying to talk about all this stuff. What is Sab short for? It's not Sebastian. It's not.
It's actually
Sabato.
So yeah, it's Saturday in Italian. It's my real first name.
Is it really Saturday in Italian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Actually, Italians say Sabato. Americans say Sabato.
Sabatino. No, not Sabatino.
No, it's not Sabatino.
Is it really? So your name is Saturday?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
In fact,
silly.
at one time when everybody was alive, if you looked in the phone book, it said Saturday Caponi was my grandfather. S.E. Caponi, that was a cousin. Sabato Caponi was another cousin. Sab was my uncle, and mine said Sab and Sue.
Wow.
Yeah. Now we're just down to two.
Yankees have tied the game up.
At what? Nothing?
Thank you for that, Janine. Paula says hi. Sorry I'm joining late. No problem. Kenny, are you lathering yourself up with peanut butter for the dog? Peter Piper says Sabby is hot. Have you ever been called Sabby?
Yeah. If you depending on what you call me, that's how I know how long I've known you. If you call me Sabby, you've known me since kindergarten. If you call me Sabato, you're a bill collector or a lawyer, and I don't want to talk to you. And if you call me Sab, you've met me after I was 15.
There you go.
So if you're calling me Sabby, I must have known you in kindergarten.
Saturday, Eric says.
All
Hey,
right.
Mike Del Judas is watching. He says, hey, sexy. Mike Del Judas. You know who Mike Del Judas is?
No, I feel like I should, though.
Yeah, you might. Mike Del Judas, he plays in Billy Joel's band. You ever watch, you know the show Kevin James has on TV, the one he has now? Mike Del Judas is the songwriter and the singer of the theme song. He is a good friend of mine.
My wife actually loves Billy Joel, so if you can get, I don't know, an autographed picture or something, maybe I get something.
I get you an autographed picture of Mike.
Yeah, all right.
That I can get. Mike and I have this thing, because a few weeks ago, he has a live show on Facebook where he sits, it's called Live from the Porch. He goes up on his porch, he goes live, and people post song requests. So he just sits there and plays them. So a couple of weeks ago, he went on a Tuesday night, which, you know, so it was just very wrong of him. Right. See, exactly.
Where does this guy live?
Rocky Point.
I want-
Rocky Point.
I want
Miller
this.
Place. Miller Place. I'm
Swimming
coming.
with the fishes.
So he so we actually turned it on and we were watching it and making fun of it during the show.
Oh.
And then what we did, we were playing the video but played like audio of the Chipmunks and shit, totally making fun of Mike. So it was just totally wrong of Mike to do that. So we've had this thing now going back and forth where, you know, we're, you know, challenging each other, and Mike's even said something about, you know, we might have to, you know, duke it up a little bit. But then he apologized, and I thought, oh, it was fine.
Okay.
But then the other night he went live. The other night, it was today's Tuesday? I think, what was it, Thursday or Friday or something? Mike went live, and he mentioned the show again. And he said something about going to Duke's.
Mentioned your show again.
He did. And he said we may have to go to Duke's. So I thought we were at peace here. I thought we were okay, but, you know, Mike?
How about sock 'em bop-ems? Remember the big blow-up sock 'em bop-em things when we were kids? You do that for charity.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'll take you. He'll have to stand on one leg, though, make it even.
That's right, he will. That's a good idea. Or we just do it sitting down.
There you go. It's a lot closer to the floor.
Or I just put a third one on my stump, so I have the advantage. I hit him with 3. Did you hear that?
That's all I ever say. Idiot.
Oh, and he says it to me most of the time. So, Mike, I thanks for watching, Mike, and you know I'm watching you, and we're gonna have to figure this out. All right, let's sumo suits. Mike says, Tony, I can only love you. Now
It's Italian. See, it's an Italian thing.
it is an Italian thing, but don't make me go live right now. He says. Let's see. Kenny says he's moist. So that's good. Sumo. I like the idea of sumo suits. Was at the Billy Joel concert the other night, and Mike sang. Awesome voice. Yes, Billy is nice enough to give Mike a solo spot where he sings an old operatic song called Nessun Dorma. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but Mike sings it in a very operatic voice, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So I'll give you that. Let's see. All right, what do we got? All right, so. Hey, Maureen is watching. Hi, Maureen. Chris says he loves you. Love you too, Chris. Chris and I go way back as long as I can remember. All right. How's retirement?
Retirement's actually pretty good. I'm in the retirement mode now.
Sam just retired this year. I retired, well, you know, it's been almost 10 years already since I retired. Yeah, loving life. I don't feel sick to my stomach anymore going to work, which is nice. Well, thanks for giving me that. You're welcome, Mike. I'll give you that. I'll give you something else too, you bastard. What does Mike sing about Nissan Sentras? That was just stupid. See, Eric, that's why I write the comedy scripts and you just handle the money, because, you know, the comedy is here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do that. Thanks for the reminder, Eric.
Time to pay the bills?
Yep, Knock 'em Dead Comedy is coming your way. Whoops, that's the wrong button. Knock 'em Dead Comedy is going to be... We're coming to Governors, October 20th. We're going to be there, Governors. I just heard yesterday or today they only have 20 tickets left for our big appearance there, October 20th. You probably can't really see this too well, but October 20th, we're doing our Redneck Wedding Murder Mystery Show. It's a comedic murder mystery show. That's Sal Couture. If you can't see him, that's Linda Bartolomeo. Sal is also a phone guy, so Sam and I know him well. Yesterday was Sal's birthday. Sal can sing too. He could probably kick ass on Nessun Dorma. That's right. So yeah, we're. So that's October 20th. But this Sunday, actually, what's today? Friday we're doing a private party. Saturday we'll be at Levittown Hall in Hicksville doing a fundraiser for the Levittown Fire Department. So come on down to see that. This is an ad for this Sunday. We'll be at George Martin Strip Steak out in Great River. That's like where the Southern State Parkway ends for all you Long Islanders. George Martin Strip Steak. They have fantastic food there.
There's a great golf course in Great River.
Yes, there is. There is.
Timber Point. My son just played there. He's a golf nut now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
It's all right, Melissa. It's all right. You're late. Well, we're talking about the show, right? Get it? What time this Sunday? 5:30 dinner. So 5:30 dinner. We go on after dinner, so it'll probably be around 6:30ish. 6:30ish. Yes, Eric. There's only 20 tickets left for Governors. I thought I told you. Sorry. You guys are crazy living life on the edge. No, not really. Okay. Was that all? All the announcements I had? Yes, it was. So I'll go. So since I finished the announcements, I'll go back to this picture of Sal with his cock banner. He loves.
Did you say Sal?
Sab. Did I say Sal? Sorry.
I heard you say Sal.
Sorry. All right. So as a union rep, when you were a union rep, come on, give me two of the craziest things we had to represent. Hundreds, not thousands.
I had 607 people I represented.
Wow, you really?
Well, it was easy to understand because when I ran, there were 607 people, and I ran against a gentleman named Peter Cirillo, and I beat Pete by 8 votes. It was 199 to 207, and 10 days after I got in, I had met 743 people that voted for me, and I never really understood the math, but everybody that you saw, so I always remembered 607 people.
Oh, okay.
And it probably went up a little higher and then dropped down a little lower. So it was never boring. It was always interesting. Every day was a challenge.
Eric says, "Fuck Pete Cirillo." Pete Cirillo just died about a month ago. So
Pete
rest
Cirillo
in
and
peace.
I actually wound up becoming pretty damn good friends. He was a real nice human being. He was a veteran. Don't say that.
And I didn't know Sam at the time. In fact, that's when I met him when he was running. I was already a chief steward out in the field. Sam came to my work location to, address the guys and put himself out there. But I didn't know him yet, so I actually didn't vote for Sam. But he knows that already. I had a good relationship with Pete, so he understood that. But luckily, we became really close friends. Sorry, I like Pete now. Yes, thanks, Eric. Sam, did you beat Pete's meat? This is the level.
I guess I did in a way.
Kenny, you bring the mutt and the balls, and I'll bring the peanut butter. All right. So
These are your friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't have any friends.
yeah, that's right. Because you had to go out begging for some and
Right.
looking for friends after you retired.
Yep.
Is what I heard. So all right. So yeah. So that was. I always thought that was funny. I never even voted for the guy, but then we became brothers. So yeah, give me some funny. Oh, that's where I was going before. He represented 607. I had maybe at the time, maybe 100 of that, right? 100,
Yeah.
give or take. And I had, I had an interesting group. You'd be surprised at some of the interesting, various group of characters we had to represent, and there were some interesting things we had to defend. So
Yeah.
so give us a couple of funny stories.
So the best story ever was there was this guy, and the company wanted to fire him because they said he didn't do anything. That he showed up to work, he left work, didn't do anything. And I'm like, okay, what do you got? So they basically thought they had him doing nothing the whole thing. So whatever I would do, I'd tell people, come on in, come to the union office, sit down and talk to me. And as soon as they'd sit down, I'd say, listen, just be honest with me, because I don't care. But I need to know the truth, because
Right.
if I don't know the truth, I can't defend you because I don't know what's going to come at me. So I would say it to everybody, and this was the only human being that was ever honest with me. He comes in and he said he worked. It was a 3 to 11 shift in one of the offices, and he said, "Well, I showed up at like 5 to 3. Okay, I left I got my check. It was a Thursday. I got my check. I left. I went and got it cashed. I went to my girlfriend's house. He had relations with his girlfriend. He comes back, checks into the building. Nothing was happening. He went back to his girlfriend's house, got high, and went to dinner. Came back to the building. And this is how this kid's whole. And he told me the whole story, and I marveled at this kid.
Do I know this guy?
No, I don't think you do because
Oh, okay.
he wasn't one of yours.
Okay.
So I wound up marveling at this kid because here he was at the time, he was like a 22, 23-year-old kid. He had a job that was paying him $1,500 a week with overtime.
Great
Yeah.
benefits.
He had a fast car, a fast motorcycle, a fast boat, a good-looking girlfriend, living with his parents, didn't care. But it wound up that we made the story out to be so much that the only thing the kid did right was every time he came into the building, he came in to another door. So he would clock in with those electronic cards, the front door. The next time was the side door. So when they were watching the building, they sat and watched one door. So they thought that they only saw him coming in at like 3, leaving at like 3:15, and then never showing up again. So when we pulled up his cards, we were able to show that he kept coming back into the building. Oh, in fact, at one point, he talked his girlfriend into coming up in the building, and they had relations in the building. So
This is a good defense
This is
for
true,
our
right.
for our union ways.
But the point was, and I even told my wife this because my wife is now a vice president of a company.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. So when you get mad at people, you can't just fire people. You have to make it abundantly clear. You have to let people know that they're doing something wrong. You have to warn them. You have to give them a chance. You can't just get mad and fire them. And this was the classic case. The kid was a great worker. The kid never called in sick. The kid was just a young, stupid kid. So they basically sat him down, told him all of this shit. He served a suspension,
Okay.
came back. And what
All right.
happened was that next Christmas, I just threw the shirts out, Dominic. His father shows up in the office with him, and he goes, here. And he gave me 2 Carhartt, like, 3-button long sleeve Henley shirts as a thank you for getting this. And I'm like, no, that's all right. He's like, I know my kid. His father was a union iron worker. And he's
Oh,
like,
wow.
I know my kid. My kid's an idiot for doing this. You got him his job back. Take these shirts. And I had those shirts up until last year when they were just too worn. They were great. And now Dominic is married to that girl,
Oh, wow.
has kids, and he's a great guy. Just a great guy.
See, well, that's the thing, because Eric Shevlin writes, this guy got high on the job. Well, all right, yeah.
Everybody did, Eric. It's
Right.
the phone company. Here's the problem. The phone company is an industry born of high school graduates, okay? Nobody ever decides to work for the phone company. All right? People decide to go be cops. People say, I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to go be a producer of a radio show. Nobody ever says, I want to go be a phone guy. So what happens is around your 20s sometimes, your aunt or your uncle or your mother or your neighbor says, listen, I know that you really aren't too into anything. Why don't you go get a job at the phone company? It's got benefits and a decent pay. So now you all work at the phone company. You have high school graduates at best. And these morons eventually move up and start running the company like Blow McAdams. So now you got this guy running the company. Somewhere along the way he got his bachelor's. I'm not saying that that didn't happen, but nobody ever aspires to be a phone company guy. So you got a corporation built on idiots. So when you're surprised that someone gets high at work,
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. It's, you talk about the phone company, but guys get high. People are getting high at all jobs. This isn't a phone company thing. This isn't even
I'm
a union
pro-pot.
thing.
I'm
Well, yeah,
pro-
he's pro-pot.
I'm pro-pot. You know why? I'll tell you very simply. I met a lot of violent alcoholics in my life.
Yes.
Gotten into bar fights. Alcohol is not... Pot, you want to smoke pot, you want to sit on a couch and eat and get fat and watch SpongeBob SquarePants.
Or watch.
Right, right. So, we can't sit here and say that, alcohol's okay, but pot is bad, or cigarettes are okay.
But where I'm going was that this guy, he made. So he got
Turned it
high.
around.
So he got high when he was young and stupid. But he turned it around. He's got a nice wife. He's doing the right thing on the job now, and he's got his family that he's supporting and doing the right thing. So I'm sure Eric or anybody, you've all worked with somebody who, was drinking or doing something on the job that they shouldn't have been doing. Everybody does something on the job they shouldn't be doing, whether it's smoking or something else. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Even the managers. Listen, you
Absolutely,
people think
right.
that it's just the guys working. We've had management fired for stealing. We've had management fired because they got the contractors who were supposed to be doing work for Verizon. They got a new driveway filer. So we had managers falsifying timesheets so that their buddies could get paid overtime. McElgravy.
McElravy.
So
Bastard.
that's it. What else you got?
John Morelli wanted you.
Hey, what's up, John?
He says that.
John actually went to school with my brother Lou.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Where'd your kids go? Did your kids go to Calhoun?
No.
Oh, okay.
What's the
John Morelli says he hopes on your appearance here that you just lay it all on the table.
What do you want to know, John?
I don't know. Well, he told me this in advance, so
Okay.
I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know if there's
Is he
something.
on? John,
No.
are you on?
Tom Francis says he wanted to be a cowboy.
That's you bastard. Tom Francis and I actually had the same life goals. Either a cowboy, a race car driver, or a football player. But what happened was, we never moved out west. We were too fat to fit in race cars. And now we're too old and broken down to work playing the NFL. So we're still phone guys.
Eric says he could have connected a wrong line to the wrong house. All those missed phone calls. Is that the best you got? Is that the best you got? Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, and I'll tell you a story, too. I know a guy, I can't remember his name. I don't know if you remember this or if you were even around. This might have been before you. This guy, his name was Dennis. He was a splicer out of Avenue C. This guy never called in sick. I remember this well. I was doing a job with him at, I think it was in Eisenhower Park. He had a headache. Goes to sits in his truck at lunchtime, 12 noon, goes in his truck, eats a sandwich, takes a Tylenol, passes out, gets up at 1:15, gets right out of his truck, goes back to work. He got 30-day suspension because he was 15 minutes late from lunch. This is a guy who hadn't called in sick at that point. It was at least 15 years. I'm tempted to say 20 years. This guy was a dedicated employee, had no issues with anybody or anything, and that's the thanks he gets. And that's why guys like this come in to do the right thing and save his ass because of shit like that. So, yeah, we have guys getting high, but it goes both ways.
The bottom line is, if you're a perpetual fuck-up, eventually you're going to get caught and fired. If you fuck up once, do you really deserve to kill somebody for that? It costs more to hire somebody and retrain them than it does just to say stop it and teach them a lesson.
So was there anything you wanted to just throw out there? Or because, Morelli said he wanted you to throw it on the table. If not, we will keep moving. Because actually it's almost time to wrap it up anyway.
I peed next to Mario Cuomo.
You peed next to Mario Cuomo? Where is this?
Crest Hollow. So we went to a union fundraiser. When Mario Cuomo was in office, we went to a fundraiser, and I go into the bathroom.
I got to interrupt you. Eric says, what if you don't fuck up but you lose your leg? Yeah, I'm a pretty good example of that. I lost my leg and I got screwed over pretty good. And I'm going to leave it at that. Because I cannot get into that stuff.
Oh, you can't legally.
No, I can't legally get
So,
so you're
we went to a fundraiser for Mario Cuomo. I had a couple of beers. I got to pee. I go into the restroom, and as I go into the restroom, I look, and there's two state troopers that are like the size of a house, leaning against the wall. It's DEFCON 5.
My phone is ringing. It's all right.
And I look. I don't even realize it. What happens is I look over at the urinals, and at the Crest Hollow, there's like 15 urinals, and Mario Cuomo's standing at one. There's nobody else in the place.
Oh, really?
So I walk right over, and I stand right next to him.
With your... In
I
your
was in a
hand?
suit.
Oh.
So I start urinating, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and I said, "Hello, Governor," and he goes, "Hello." I said, "I'd shake your hand, but we're both busy." And he chuckles, and the two state troopers step forward, and I look at them, and he said, "I finished doing my business." He said, "Have a nice night. Thanks for coming." I washed my hands, and
Thanks for coming. How did he know?
he knew.
Well, see, that's...
And I did peek.
From Mario Cuomo.
I did. I tried looking. It's a guy thing.
See, that's what I miss about the job, is the fun stuff like that. One time, Billy Moran and I, we were working down in Lido Beach, and we were parked in a private area, because they got the town, like, has a little property down there right at the end of Loop Parkway. So we were parked back there. We had finished up for the day. We parked back there to clean up and stuff. And there was this woman, I don't know where she came from. She must have worked for the town or something, because she had access to this private area. She parks her car. She's, I swear to God, about 10 feet away from us. I don't know how she didn't see us, or maybe she did see us. But it's a sunny day. It was during the summer. Sunny day. She rips everything off to get a tan. So me and Billy just standing there. We're just looking at her for about 10 minutes, and then we left.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Hey, look at that. Liberty DeVito joined. Liberty DeVito is watching this? Do you know who Liberty DeVito is?
Absolutely.
Oh, all right. That's impressive.
I married Sue. So
Sue's a huge Billy Joel fan?
huge. Like, for her birthday one year, I said, all right, I'm going to get a front row tickets. He was playing at the Coliseum. And she actually made me return them because the piano was on, like, the other side of the stage. So I forget the piano was on, like, the left side, and her tickets were on, like, more to the center or the right. And I had to get those tickets So she was actually right there.
Wow.
And I actually met Billy Joel once. My high school girlfriend she went to college in Bethany, West Virginia, and her old roommate was next door neighbors with him. And I went into their house, and he was there one time, just talking to the old man. I was like, hey, and when he used to do the Charity Begins at Home and all, so.
Liberty's watching while he's on the toilet. That's fitting.
Excellent.
It's good to know. Thanks, pal. He's actually a friend of mine, Liberty.
He's
he's a friend of mine. He actually.
I love hometown guys made good.
Yes,
I love
actually, he's from right here in Seaford. That's where we are. I live right on the border of Wanto and Seaford. It's a Seaford mailing address, even though my kids go to Wanto schools. And this is where Liberty grew up. He grew up right here in Seaford. My father did too. I don't know. That has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. But thanks for watching, Liberty. Liberty, I'll throw it out there since you're watching. He's got a band now called the Slim Kings. If you don't know them, if you never heard of them, check them out on iTunes. They're fantastic. Great band. And they have a new album coming out, Liberty. I think it's the first week in November, is it? I forget now, but it's coming out in the next few weeks. The Slim Kings, they're called. The Slim Kings. Check them out. They're really good. Just typical garage band, guitar, bass, drums, and they're fantastic. So I'll throw that out there since you're watching. Thanks for tuning in. Okay. So, I will... All right, so Tom Franzese, who's also watching, he has submitted some questions for you. I don't know what some of these questions even mean, so I'm going to throw them out there anyway. Hey guys, I just came on. What's going on? Hello, Rose. Good to see you. We're just hanging out with Sam.
Hi, Rose.
Okay. How's it hanging, and what's the witness protection program like? That's his first question.
It's hanging. It's hanging a little to the right, and the witness protection program is doing fine. He's asking about that because I don't really go around phone guys anymore.
Right. Yeah. Same here.
It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. You hang out with them, you laugh with them, you know everything about them every day, and you leave, and
Yep.
you're gone.
But the weird part, I drive by a lot, and I'll see line trucks, and I'm looking. Checking out some old buddies. If it's somebody I'll recognize, I'll pull over. I don't even know who these guys are.
That's because we're getting old.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting old.
But you're older than me. Mm-hmm. So, all right. His next question is: does he still break something every day being retired?
Absolutely. In fact, it drives poor Sue nuts. I'll drive down the road and I'll look at a cable and think about how I'm going to cut that cable to cause Verizon some demise. It's hard. I can tell you right now. DeSource Lane, right by where Tappan Lane comes in, there's a fiber cable. The dip is about 1.5 feet away from the pole, and it hurts me not to touch it. Every time I go by, I stare at it.
There's Old Mill Road right here in Wanto, right by the old Wanto garage. There's still lead hanging.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy every time I see it.
Yeah, you go down Oakfield, and right before Beltog, there's a walk-up FDH, and the taps aren't even covered. They're easy to cut. And if you go further north on Oakfield, north of Jerusalem, on the east side, there's another FDH with the taps that are just easy. They're walk-up boxes.
That's great.
It irks me not to kill them.
Maureen Lane, thank you very much. So, thank Chris for me too. All right, here's one more question. Do you still cringe when you hear the phrase "doing it for America"?
Yes.
What does that mean?
So this guy Tommy Thielen that we worked with, the last strike, he gave what's called the "Doing It for America" speech. We were being interviewed
to who?
We were being interviewed by like the Bayville Herald or something. And it came up and he asked me and I gave him the quick pat answer. My answer always is very simple, that Verizon wants to move the jobs out of the communities we live in. So if you live here, they should have some obligation to keep the jobs here. But instead they ship them overseas.
Lou Caponi says, shh.
Oh yeah. Lou Caponi was part of the 89.
Why is he telling you to shush?
Statute of limitations is up, Lou. It's okay.
Oh.
So he'll understand that.
Okay.
So anyway, it's very simple. We would say, listen, we're your coaches, with people in your temples and synagogues sitting next to your church. They deserve to give us. They should be giving us jobs. Well, Fielding takes it one step further into this strike is about America, and if we lose, America is going to go down the toilet. Now that was the strike of 11 or 12, and the funny thing is, this last strike he wound up screwing a lot of people.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So it's
why he crossed over to the dark side?
He didn't cross over.
Oh.
He just unsavory. Just never showed up.
I hated those guys.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my wife was getting pissed at me because I'm putting in 16-hour days.
That's what me and KK used to do.
But I loved it. It was pandemonium.
Right.
I
loved the craziness. I loved being able to yell and scream. Yeah, KK would we'd be in Hempstead, and which is not a great area, but that's where we worked. We would stay there till 7, 8 o'clock at night. We'd be the only two left at the gate standing there. But
You were Hell's Angels across the street.
that's right. Hell's Angels were right across the street. Every year at Christmas, they would hang Christmas lights. I thought that was the funniest thing.
Great.
They didn't bother anybody. Nobody had any issues.
They're the greatest neighbors in the world.
They were great. They would wave to you when you walked
They
by.
cut down on crime in the neighborhood. Nobody wants to mess with them.
It just made me laugh every year. Hell's Angels hanging up Christmas lights on their lawn. I thought it was great. All right. So, as we're about to wrap up, we do this every week. Seb has never seen the show. He never knew it existed. So, but what we
I don't
do...
go on Facebook because I start fights with the liberals.
So what we do, we end the show every week with rapid fire questions.
All right.
They're
Train of thought.
They're totally random. They
Here we
have
go.
nothing to do with anything.
we go.
I might sneak in something you may know about. I may not.
Get me some Dr. Pepper and we go.
You have not seen these questions, correct?
All right.
Correct. All right, so I will just hit them with these questions. The black Santa Claus on the roof of the clubhouse. That's right. Yeah, they did. I think that came later, but yeah, they did have one. All right, so I'm going to ask Sam these questions. I am not going to tell him if he's right or wrong with the answers, so that you guys can also chime in with your answers. So, all right, so here we go. Rapid fire questions. First one. The fastest moving animal can move at 220 miles per hour. What animal is it?
That's bullshit.
It's not bullshit, it's real.
I'm going to say the cheetah, but I know the cheetah only goes 65.
I was thinking cheetah also.
All right.
65.
So,
Small head, huge lungs.
all right, so I'll wait till the end to give you the answers. Again, chime in if you want. Next question. On February 26, 1997, the Grammy Awards for Best New Artist went to a 14-year-old country singer. Name her.
Couldn't care. I don't watch that shit. I don't watch fake TV.
Fake TV.
Like fake news. I don't watch it.
The Cougars incorrect. The Jaguar is incorrect. Okay, so you don't know that one either.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley. No, that's wrong.
She probably wasn't even born in 1997.
Next question. There are 17 hours difference in time zones between San Francisco and Tokyo. If an airplane leaves Tokyo at 3 p.m. on Friday and flies 10 hours to San Francisco, what day and time does it arrive in San Francisco?
Sunday, 4 o'clock. It doesn't matter. You're there.
Leanne Rhymes. That is correct. Lou Caponi got that. Leanne Rhymes.
He's
won the
Googling.
Grammy.
It's
He's
my
Googling
brother.
me.
He's Googling.
Well, no, he's smart. He's the smart one. He got the brains.
You did.
Okay. Where was I? How many active players are on each team in a soccer match?
Soccer's not a real sport.
Okay, good
It's
enough.
only for Europeans and Russians, I think.
All right, so now.
11. 10. 10 or 11.
11. Wow. I'm impressed. All right, but now I'm moving on
All right.
to some Jets questions.
All right.
Seb is a huge Jet fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're killing me, but I roll tide even more now, so go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. In January '69, the Jets defeated the Baltimore Colts 16-7 to win Super Bowl III. In which stadium was the game played?
Miami.
Is that the Orange Bowl?
Yes.
Okay, then you got that right. Okay, next Jets question. Jets management did not listen to their fans in 1995 and took tight end Kyle Brady with their 9th overall selection. Which player did the fans want the Jets to select instead?
In 95.
95.
Fuck.
Instead of Kyle Brady.
I remember Kyle Brady. He was a tight end. I think he played at Penn State. 95.
Better to be a Jet fan than a Giants fan right now.
I have no idea. I don't know. Who is it?
Oh, there it is. Tom Franzese got it.
What is
Warren Sapp.
Fuck, we passed him up.
Yes.
He's like me. He's a Jet savant.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Tom is? Lou wasn't using Google. He's just smart, says Roberta
That's you can't, Roberta.
McPherson.
If you're gonna be a Caponi, don't go snitching. All right, snitches get stitches in the Caponi family. That's my brother's girlfriend.
Oh, okay. She
I
hot?
just sold him out. She's cool.
Oh, all right.
She's what I would call a Queens broad. Just a cool broad. Just a cool broad.
Just a cool broad. She's gonna smack him for calling her a broad.
No, if I call you a broad, it's a good thing.
Oh, all right. Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, if they're cool broads, they're cool broads.
The Monday Night Miracle.
I'm gonna kill those bastards. Miami. They came from like 27 or 30 something down. I left the bar. They were getting their ass whooped because we go out for Monday Night Football. By the time I come home, Sue goes, they're starting to come back. I was half in the bag. I went, nah. I rolled over, went to sleep. She watched the whole game. The Jets came back and beat them.
Right. That was what? Hang on. How many points were the Dolphins winning by
It was either
before the Jets came back?
27 or 34.
Neither.
How much?
23.
23.
23. All right. One more question and then we're out of here. In 2001, which Jets linebacker delivered the hit on Drew Bledsoe?
Mo Lewis.
There you go.
That's
But how did that affect
that
the future?
He ruptured a little vessel in his aorta or something, knocked out Drew Bledsoe, and the Antichrist, Tom Pretty Boy Brady, who still plays for Belichick, wound up coming in, replacement, and then winning all of these Super Bowls because they cheat all the time, the little bastards. They're cheating, lying little scums at Brady.
And that's how we go out of here. We piss Sam off. That's what we do.
Now I am annoyed.
You're the man.
You're the man. Thanks, man.
This was fun.
Thank you.
This is my brother Sam Caponi, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, speaking of brothers, before I forget, last week I had my brother Frank on. Thanks to all who watched for that. I made fun of him with his potbelly peanut butter jelly thing, and I didn't really let him get into it and explain it. He's coming back in December, and I'll let him have his time to explain what all that is, because So there you go. Sam Caponi. It was great having him on board. This was actually probably the most serious conversation I had with him.
Absolutely. I figured it was going to be like we normally would, just idiots banging heads and
We could do that. Yeah. We will. But
roll tide.
But this was fun, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. It's Tuesday Night with Tony. We're out of here. Next week, I'm trying to get Kenny and Jimmy Haas to come on. Let me know. You stopped commenting, though, Kenny, so I don't know where you went. But maybe I scared you off by, telling you to come on here. Liberty, thanks for watching while you're taking a dump. Mike Del Judas, up yours. And everybody else, thanks for watching. Zach, you want to say goodbye real quick?
Goodbye.
You don't want to show your face?
I'll show my face.
All right. So where are you going? He's saying he'll show his face, but he's going the other way.
Show my face.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Just like that back there.
I don't know what.
Here, how do I?
Well, you have to come on in.
What, like right here?
Yeah, come on. Shit.
Here, I'll sit right here.
This is a lot of work just to say
This
goodbye.
is our
with.
producer.
I have no idea what this is about, but there he is. There's Zach.
I gotta show them my new look.
This is your new look?
I'm Batman.
With sunglasses.
Yeah, this is how Ben Affleck looks in the new Justice League movie.
Ben Affleck's an actor, right?
Yeah. He's Batman.
As usual, I've lost control. All right. We'll see you next week, 8 o'clock, Tuesday night. See if Kenny has the balls to show up. All right. You want to turn this off?
Sure.
All right. Thanks for watching. Tell all your friends, hit the like buttons, and sit on Santa's lap, Zach. The Yanks are up, Jack Scala says. Hey, speaking of Billy Joel fans, Jack Scala, he's Captain Jack. You know the song Captain Jack? That's
Is
him.
he really?
That's him. Jeff Siegel. What time are the Mets playing? Very funny, Jeff. Did I say a word? I'm rooting for the Yankees, you son of a bitch. Jeff Siegel.
I never liked that bastard.
Yeah, I never liked that guy anyway.
Poke him in the eye.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
We'll see ya.